Along Vet Med with your host, Dr. Bitter, 2B, the emphasis on the 2B. And today, or I guess tonight, it is a whopping 10:17 p.m. We're going to talk about metabolic bone disease. That's the common name of secondary nutritional hyperparathyroidism. And that's what we're going to talk about. So we all exotic pet owners, specifically lizards, we have heard the common term of metabolic bone disease. And let's break down the word of secondary nutritional hyperparathyroidism. So secondary means it's secondary to something else. It's not the primary cause. So it's secondary to usually nutrition, hence the name nutrition. Hyper means excessive amounts. So there's an excessive amount of parathyroidism. Believe it or not, there is this hormone called parathyroid hormone. And we're going to go into this more in depth. And let's talk about the histopathology of this. But I need to take a drink. So let's talk about, let's just ignore the fact that my roommate is here, also an exotic pet owner, you feel. All right, so let's talk about calcium and what is calcium. This white powdery stuff that we all give and supplement, and you're like told to do it, and you're like, why? Well, so calcium is a macro mineral, meaning a lot. So it's a lot that our body needs for this nutrient or mineral, meaning it's inorganic. There's no carbons or hydrogen associated with the calcium. So our body cannot synthesize de novo, meaning out of thin air, I guess you can say, or by itself, form calcium. It's an atom, the basic chemistry. So what happens is that we got this parathyroid hormone. Okay, let's rewind. Let's talk about the thyroid first. We all heard of hyperthyroidism. We talked about hypothyroidism. That's that butterfly gland here in us humans. So dogs, cats, other animals, us as well, we have this parathyroid hormone, which is, well, a gland. This is drunk, so hence there's a lot of grammatical errors. And so I mean gland. So there's this parathyroid gland that's near the thyroid gland, okay? Okay. Follow me, you follow me. We're around here in all our animals pretty much, except poultry and chickens and all those bird avian species. You have like a glob of parathyroid gland. Anyways, but they do have it. So we don't see this in dogs and cats, right? It's because they get a very well-balanced diet. Reptiles don't, because there's not a lot of research out. So that's why we veterinarians and other researchers really stress the idea of supplementing calcium. Pause. So what is this metabolic bone disease? What is this drunk girl talking about that's interested in vet med? All right. So I just want to get some basics down. So the body is deficient in calcium. That's what's causing this metabolic bone disease. So in a normal animal, regardless, it's going to secrete, the parathyroid gland's going to secrete, it's really important, calcium homeostasis, meaning keeping it at a normal level. Okay, we got to keep everything chill. And so everything needs to be cool. So parathyroid gland is like, oh, goodness gracious, we have not enough calcium to do anything. No muscle contractions, none of this stuff, no bone absorption, none of that. We can't do anything. So it's like red alarms going off like beep, beep, beep. We need calcium. calcium. So then the parathyroid gland's like, here's some parathyroid hormone. So it comes out into the bloodstream. It's just going around, and this is the messenger. That's that text message you send to your boyfriend saying, hey, what's good? That text message is parathyroid. And then your boyfriend is the signaling or the organs that respond to this hormone. So let's, why is it called metabolic bone disease? Well, this parathyroid hormone, okay, we've established we are low levels of calcium. So parathyroid is signaling to other organs that, hey guys, we're really low in calcium. We need calcium. So you know what that does? You know what a great reservoir is for calcium? Bone. Bone, everyone. Bone. Hence the name, metabolic bone disease. So parathyroid goes to the bone and activates osteoclasts, which are bone degrading cells in simple terms. Let's just keep it simple here. We're all drunk or don't know what's going on. And osteoclasts are going to come and they're going to take the bone and they're like, oh, calcium, calcium, calcium. I need it, I need it. And so all this calcium goes to the blood and it tries to increase the blood calcium. That's what parathyroid hormone does in this scenario. Now, why it leads to this is because they're chronically hypocalcemic, meaning there's not enough blood calcium in, well, you know, blood calcium in general. And it's just low. It's chronically low the whole entire time. So eventually the bone density decreases because parathyroid's causing like, we don't have enough. Bone's like, here, osteoclasts are like, here's some calcium. I'm trying so hard. And eventually it just doesn't meet the demand. So we end up radiographically finding really thin, brittle bones, pathological fractures because they're not that dense. So that's what happens in metabolic bone disease. That's why it's so important to please supplement some calcium. Calcium is so superior, you guys. Oh my God, calcium is so important for everything. The reason I can do this and this is because of calcium, mostly, you know, regard of electrical impulses and whatever. We're not going to talk about more of that. But you know, calcium is responsible for so many things. Vitamin D. Oh, if I could go into vitamin D synthesis, I would, but not today. Not tonight at 10:27 p.m. Not tonight. I just want y'all to understand why and what is going on and how it happens. What happens in the body. And so you can be like, next time you're feeding your lizard, you're like, do I need to supplement these mealworms with calcium, with vitamin D3? You'd be like, yes, I do. Because of parathyroid hormone. So, let's conclude what I just talked about. Basically, what happens is that you're not supplying enough calcium into their diet that they can't create themselves. Rhea, go away. That's my dog. Just ignore her. She's not an exotic animal. She is a typical dog. Canis lupus. Anyways, so over time, your blood, let's talk about the reptile. The reptile's blood is chronically low. So the parathyroid gland is constantly secreting parathyroid hormone, which is going to the bones, telling the osteoclasts, which are those cells that degrade bone to get to the mine gold, I guess calcium mine of the bones, like, okay, here's all your calcium in the blood, trying to get that homeostatic level of calcium. And over time, it leads to pathological fractures because they're brittle. And, you know, the reason your lizard or reptile or, you know, whatever animal has secondary nutritional hyperparathyroidism, it can be a tongue twister, is because they don't have enough calcium to contract their muscles. They can't move. They can't move. The whole muscle contraction mechanism is dependent on calcium. If they don't have calcium, they can't contract their muscles. Thus, they can't move. So anyways, I just want to stress the importance that since I'm drunkish, that I condone this material that's kind of harder to learn more. And to just stress the idea of like calcium, man. Calcium's so important. I can't wait to do more videos. I can talk about vet med this entire time. Rhea, shh, I'm filming. So rude. She's not a reptile. She doesn't understand. And, you know, I just want to make y'all aware of like these diseases or like vaccinations or whatever vet med stuff. You're like, my veterinarian described to me and I don't know what's going on. And then drunk Dr. Bitter 2B is like, well, I can tell you because, you know, I can dumb this stuff down. And I want y'all to know what's going on. I want y'all to be educated and knowledgeable. It's all about increasing the level of animal welfare. So stay tuned. I want to do more videos like this because I love drinking. And let's get to it.